Welcome to Jorn, God of Winter. As far as opening hand goes, yes, we will keep on this one. I like it. We don't have a lot of payoff spells. I mean, we've got a lot of ramp spells. We don't have any sort of X spells or payoff spells, but actually we'll jump into that in a second because you don't know what we have going on with the deck. But anyway, welcome to Jorn, God of Winter. Hope you're excited. We got a fun Planeswalker story to tell here in just a second. So let's go and lead off with the Scalding Tarn. Yeah, I like that. Well, we'll lead off with Scalding Tarn. Let's go and grab ourselves a one of the blue-green dual sources. Falls. There we go. Let's grab that. Get that laying on the battlefield, then anything else past the turn to our opponent. We're playing Jorn, God of Winter. Whenever Jorn attacks, untap each snow permanent that you control. Then, on the back end for a called ring, you may play target snow permanent from your graveyard this turn. If you do, it enters the battlefield tap. Playing against Archelos, Lagoon Mystic. So we got Sultai versus Sultai. Lotus Cobra. I'm digging where this is going. With Archelos, as long as Archelos is tapped, other permanents enter the battlefield tapped. As long as Archelos is untapped, other permanents enter the battlefield untapped. So, Battle of Sultai, just dirtle and see what sort of goofy stuff we can come up with. So let's go for Windswept Heath. Ooh, an Oracle. Yeah, that is exactly what we want to see. Now, we do want to get Dumpling Cube down. I think that's going to be a good thing, and that's going to set us up to be able to go for use Bayou to go for Cultivate next turn. So let's go and crack Windswept Heath. We're going to grab ourselves a Snow Forest. I got to pop this out to make sure we click on the right one. There we go. Get the snow-covered forest on the battlefield. Let's go for Doubling Cube. It looks like we've got a Battle of Mana right now, which should be pretty fun. So we'll get Doubling Cube down and then anything else pass the turn over to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Jorn, God of Winter. It is a interesting build. This is kind of like my second game I'm playing with it, so kind of see how this shakes out. But we did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you go to bit.ly/JoltMTG, that's going to apply my affiliate link. So if the next time you're looking to get some cards, hey, please consider using that link, and if you do, much obliged. I certainly appreciate it. Also, let's give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. If you want to play the brand new set online, they've got you covered. They have all the new cards in stock. Also, let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com/Jolt. That's going to get you 10% off of your order for any sort of gaming accessories that you may want. If you're looking for propane accessories, they don't have them. I check every morning. They don't. Maybe one day we'll see propane accessories. There we go. Let's wait for our opponent to do something. Okay, Mystical Tutor. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to directly support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you're keeping score at home in the winter, like I am, it is officially free time. Let's have some fun. Yeah, as far as my Planeswalker abilities outside of the Magic realm, I built Jorn yesterday, and I live in Texas. And so, Texas is not known for snow. But today, we have snow. There's snow in Texas. So very fitting that we're playing Jorn, God of Winter, because I don't know, it just feels really good. All right, opponent's going to go for Farseek, and we'll see what sort of land they grab. But yeah, with Lotus Cobra, that's some pretty good stuff right there. We hopefully can find some sort of answer to kind of hit the reset button on our opponent's board state. If we can hit the reset button once they get Archelos down with Extermination or Toxic Deluge, we'll be in a pretty good spot. But we've got a ton of ramp. We've got Cultivate next turn. That's going to be Land Drop, 2 onto the battlefield. Yeah, Cultivate into Skyshroud Claim, Oracle. Yeah, well, we've got some good stuff going. All we need to do is find one of our blue X spells. That's really going to help us out. So, all right, they're going to have the Lotus Cobra trigger. But yeah, as far as the deck goes, outside of snow for my area, this is going to be kind of like a Sultai lands deck. I didn't really know where I wanted to take Jorn. There's a lot of snow creatures out there. But the more I kept just kind of piddling with Jorn, I was like, man, I just really want to use that untap. Ooh, Exploration. All right, we don't have the lands in the hand, but we can get that down, especially if we get Oracle. Let's go Bayou, and then we set up Haro. That's going to be 2 lands onto the battlefield untap, but we're not going to be able to double that just yet. So let's just do this. Let's just go Cultivate. I feel like this is going to be safe. This is going to allow us to grab 2 extra snow sources. Let's get this popped out. So we do need to grab a snow-covered island. And we're sitting okay. Actually, we probably wouldn't hurt to grab another swamp. So let's do that. So let's grab both of these. Let's put island on the battlefield. Swamp goes into our hand. And then anything else past the turn to our opponent. But yeah, so the main thing that we're doing, Jorn, and this is one of the cool things about a lot of the new commanders in the new Kaldheim set, is that, they have the dual face. They have different play options that you can go for. And so when you're building these decks, you almost want to make sure that you have one side of the card that you're really stuck on, you know, something that you're really focusing on. So this particular build of Jorn, we're focusing on that untap ability to get a ton of mana on the battlefield. That's what's happening. So we go Harrow, that's going to be 2 extra lands, lane drop, that's going to be Sky Shroud Claim. Yeah, I like that. So let's go and drop in Snow-Covered Swamp. And I'm tempted to go Oracle on top. I kind of like doing this. Yeah, I like doing it. Let's go Oracle. And then we go for Exploration, and we might be able to rip lanes off the top. Ooh, there we go, Damnation. Okay. All right, so let's go for Exploration. That is exactly what we wanted to see. So let's go Faceless Haven, and then anything else past the turn to our opponent. So next turn, we'll definitely be able to set up Harrow, Sky Shroud Claim. We can even go for something like Wilderness Reclamation first, and then use Harrow on the back end. But yeah, as far as the lanes ability, we do have Merit Legion here. That was one thing where I was like, hey, you know, we're playing Jorn. And actually, give me one sec. Okay, sorry about that. I have not ambient music, but I have music that plays in my headphones, and it's all pretty low-key music, but it got to like this guitar solo thing, and I was like, oh goodness, it's hard to feel like I was trying to compete with the guitar solo. But let's get our turn going, and I'll jump back into what we were talking about. So let's go and draw into Damnation, and that's going to be Snow-Covered Island. Yeah, let's have some fun. So let's go for Snow-Covered Island. That's going to be Abrupt Decay on top. I think I actually do like Abrupt Decay on this one. That's going to allow us to get rid of Crucible of Worlds. Now, if we do end up doing that, getting rid of Abrupt Decay, that does cut us off. But I think at this point, I kind of like, yeah, we need to ramp pretty bad. So let's go for Snow-Covered Swamp. Okay, there we go. So let's drop in Sky Shroud Claim. Actually, let's drop in Wilderness Reclamation first. And let's go Sky Shroud Claim. And then that way we might be able to rip an extra lane off the top. So let's grab Woodland. And we're sitting okay pretty much across the board. I think what we'll do is we'll grab another... No, we already have all the swamps on the battlefield, so we'll just go and grab another snow-covered forest. And there we are. We got Dryad on top of the library. We still have Harrow to kind of shuffle that away. So anything else? Say that a bunch of 2/1s. And I guess if we end up trading with Lotus Cobra, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Actually, we'll just pass the turn. Let's just leave up Oracle. I think we're okay with that. So anything else, we will pass the turn. So we've got Dryad on tap. We're going to be able to untap of our lands. Oh, look at that. That is wonderful. Now, we do have Faceless Haven. We do have that online, so we do need to keep that in mind if our opponent does decide to swing in. But yeah, you know, as far as the build of this deck, we did focus on the front part of Jorn, and that's getting that untap step. You know, this is where we really want to be once we get Jorn down. We pretty much have every single one of our lands are going to be a snow land except for our dual land out there. And that just allows us to just do a bunch of busted stuff, especially doubling cube. We have a lot of X spells in here, so I've got Unbound Flourishing. I've got Zahara in here. That way, if we do get Zahara on the battlefield, start casting some of these X spells, it's going to allow us to get some of those tokens on the battlefield and really get that extra 2-for-1 value from our X spells. As far as closing the game out, we've got Mind Grind. We've got Torment of Hellfire. We actually have Suffer from the Past, which is, if you don't know what it is a black spell, instant speed, and exile, for each card that you exile from your opponent's graveyard, they lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. So we're almost kind of using that as a extra kind of Torment of Hellfire and instant speed, if we can set it up. I don't know, pretty cool. Let's go and tap down Bayou, and everything else we're good. So we'll tap down Island, we'll tap down Swamp. Let's go Harrow, and we'll actually sacrifice Bayou. There we go. Let's grab Snow-Covered Swamp. And we're sitting at 2. Yeah, we're good on blue. And we'll go and grab another forest, because we do need both of those. There we go. All right, that's going to be Mystical Tutor on top of our library. So that's going to be a very good draw, because that's going to be pretty much any win condition that we want to end up putting on top of our library. That's going to be Thassa's Intervention. Yeah, that's going to be good. Let's go for Jorn. Let's get Jorn on the battlefield. Okay, so that's going to be Tail's End, which, yeah, we're okay with that. So it's going to go back to the command zone, because we're going to get the untap either way. So let's go Jorn. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then anything else, we will pass turn. Yeah, I guess technically we could have set up a Faces Haven line of play swinging in. That would have been a little bit better, especially with Wilderness Reclamation out there. But Forgot to set it up, so we'll definitely keep that in mind. So we're going to untap all of our lands, and then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. So we've got Mystical Tutor, but we do have Thassa's Intervention on top of our library. And this is what I'm talking about, being able to Thassa's Intervention for a ton. You know, let's say that we go for doubling cube, we tap down with Wilderness Reclamation. It's going to be a ton of mana that we have access to, or a ton of card advantage, and that's definitely going to allow, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at -3. It's going to be 7. We're looking at 14, looking at the top 12, potentially 20-something cards of our library with Thassa's Intervention. Yeah, I like that. And in response to that, we can Mystical Tutor if we want to put something on top. But what we may end up doing is just holding on to Mystical Tutor. I think that'll be a pretty good thing for us and see what they end up going for. But yeah, you know, as far as the actual deck, we've got extra land drops in here. We've got Exploration. We've got Oracle. You can see we've got Oracle on the battlefield. We might set up a Damnation. They've got 3 cards in the hand. We did see Tails End come down. I feel like a good counterspell test would be Thassa's Intervention. But we'll have to decide when we end up going for it. So, all right, so let's get the draw step going. We're going to draw into Thassa's Intervention. Ooh, and that's going to be Torrent of Hellfire. Okay. Yeah, we're drawing all of our gas. This is very nice because we're running a lot of lands in here. So do we set up a Thassa's Intervention during our main phase? I think I kind of like this, because we're going to have doubling cube. Yeah, why not? I mean, we're going to have most of these lands untapped anyway. So let's do this. Let's go Thassa's Intervention. And even if we do end up losing Jorn, we can go for Damnation on the back end. And the main reason we're doing this during our main phase is I just want to see if they have any sort of counter magic, because I really want this Damnation to stick. All right, there we go. So we've got basically a free Icebreaker Kraken. Then we've got Krufix, God of Her. Man, this is a beautiful thing. And also Villainous Wealth. I think at this point, since we just have access to so much mana, I think we just grab all of our X spells. I kind of like that. We do have Suffer the Past, but they don't really have much of a graveyard established. Yeah, I like this. So let's go Torment of Hellfire. Let's go for Villainous Wealth, because what we can try to do is set up one of these on the back end. All right, and that's going to be Tatyova on top of our library. So let's go and push in with a Jorn. Well, we're going to get the untap either way. And we have nothing that we really need to do at instant speed. So let's just get to... No, excuse me. We do need the untap, because we're going to go for one of these during our second main phase. So I'm just going to swing in with Jorn. It's going to untap each permanent that we control, each snow permanent. And that's one of the good things about running Wilderness Wreck in here is that, you know, even if there is a position to where it's, you know, not the best for us to swing in with Jorn, they can definitely get rid of it. We got Wilderness Wreck at the end step, so even if we do tap out a bunch of mana for it, we're still in a pretty good spot. Okay, so we're going to take down the Gardener. They're going to put a land on the battlefield. And they do not have 10 lands. They're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're going to get a little bit extra mana from Lotus Cobra. And then we're going to return Jorn back to the command zone. Yes, we will. And then we go to our main phase. Yeah, I think at this point, we've got a Villainous Wealth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So do we want to try to go Villainous Wealth for 7, kind of build up a board state, and then save something like Torment of Hellfire? Yeah, I think I kind of like that. Or we can go for a really big Villainous Wealth next turn and just kind of set up Torment. We've got Damnation to kind of hit the reset button. They've only got 2 cards left in their hand. And we've got just enough for Damnation and going for Jorn. So I think at this point, let's do this. So let's go Damnation. Let's hit the reset button. That's going to be 1, 2. This will definitely draw out a counterspell if they have it, because they really need to keep a lot of these creatures on the battlefield. Okay, so that's going to clear the entire board out. Let's get Jorn back onto the battlefield. Oh, excuse me. We are 1 away. I thought we had it on that one. But I think we can still... No. Yeah, excuse me. I goofed up on that one. So I thought we had just enough mana for Jorn. But they're back in the command... Oh, did I click on... No, they're both 3. Never mind. All right, so we're going to untap our lands. And so we've got Torment of Hellfire. We do have Mystical Tutor, but I don't know if we really want to burn it at this point right now. I think at this point, we're just going to try to set up Villainous Wealth next turn, because we end up going for doubling cube. That's going to be Villainous Wealth during our main phase. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of creatures. We could try to set up a Torment of Hellfire. They can't sacrifice any sort of creatures like Crucible of Worlds. Pretty much looking at Crucible of Worlds and whatever cards they have. And so that's going to be a pretty bad Torment of Hellfire. The question, yeah, I think we set up a Villainous Wealth. We're just never in a spot. I think Torment would close the game out, but Villainous Wealth is just such a fun option for us to go for. I really want that to happen. Yeah, because we go for the doubling cube activation, and that is, that's a pretty good feeling. All right, so our opponent's going to go for Nissa, and we're at 28. So even if they go for the +1, they untap one of their lands, turn it into a 5/5 creature. We still have Faceless Haven if we needed to block, but we're in a good spot right now. So with the 2 cards left in the hand, yeah, I like going for Villainous Wealth, because that way it gives us a win condition. And if they do have counter magic, we have for sure win condition with Torment of Hellfire. So I like that. Now, do we want to burn Mystical Tutor for anything? I think we just hold on to Mystical Tutor, just in case we need to grab another board wipe or something like that. So let's do that. So let's see what we draw into for the turn. Tatyova. Yeah, let's go for the Villainous Wealth. I like it. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And that is going to be a Villainous Wealth for 11. So yes, we will certainly take that. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on that one, so we will take it. We've got some pretty good stuff off of this Villainous Wealth. All right, so we do end up hitting Avenger of Zendikar. And so let's kind of break down what we would have done with this. So we've got Dryad on the battlefield. That's going to allow us, pretty much what we want to do is hit extra land drops. We've got another X-Spell and Epiphany at the Drown Yard. We've got Mythos coming down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we go for Mythos, and we can return 2 permanents. It's going to be 2 lands. We got Intune for Life from the Loam. That way we can set up Merit Lage and Dark Depths. We've got Epiphany. We've got Mana Drain if we wanted to counter something for some reason to go for extra mana. And then Avenger of Zendikar is really going to hit the reset button. So there we go. Not super crazy showing from Jorn, but, we got ahead on mana very quickly, and we're able to utilize that untap ability, getting that extra mana. And even, I did mention Suffer the Pass, as the game wears on and your opponent has a lot of cards in the graveyard, being able to, and especially with their graveyard deck, if you can use Suffer the Pass to tap and untap a Wilderness Reclamation, or use something like Jorn for that ability, that's really going to help you out. But it feels good to close it out with Villainous Wealth. And if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.